Forever with Bodyheart, and I am so thrilled to bring Gabby Bernstein to you today. She is a woman I greatly admire and respect, and I'm so inspired by her. And I had the luxury of working with her in a photo shoot, and I thought she could impart some of her wisdom with y'all today. Yay! So thank you, Gabby, for joining me and us.
Thank you for having me with you.
Yeah, of course. I'm just going to cut right to it. And, Body Heart is all about embracing your body, and joining the campaign, you chose your hands and your arms. And I just wanted to know if you wanted to tell us a little bit more about why you chose that.
I chose my hands because each of us in different ways have different places in our body where we may feel energetic connections. I'm going to speak for myself here. I'm not going to compare to anybody, but for my own personal spiritual experience, when I meditate and when I lecture and when I am tuning in really deeply, my hands really get numb and I feel lots of warmth and my extremities begin to tingle. And that really is just a sure sign that everything has recalibrated and centered. And so I have really used my hands as a tool to extend the source energy. So whatever that, I want to really demystify that for some listeners. So there's a lot of energy around us that we are either blocking or accessing. And in my personal experience, and we all have the capability to access that energy, each of us. And so for me, some people maybe access it when they're running. Some people access it when they're painting or singing or making love, and all different ways that you can access that energy. I one of the great ways that I call that in is when I lecture and do talks. And so sometimes you may see me talking and my hands will be like this. And even right now, I can kind of sense I'm giving it to you guys. So so that's why I chose my hands, because and then from a vein perspective, we really wanted to focus on what we like about our body. I guess I like my arms. And I appreciate my arms.
Yeah.
So my arms hold up my hands.
Absolutely. Yay. And I know you've mentioned that you love your smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of like when I think of a big smile, big, bright, beautiful smile, I definitely think of you. Let's see. Do you have any self-care tips or any ways that you shower your body with love that you could share with our audience?
One of my self-care tips I have to cut down a little because it's not that kind to water preservation, but I really like baths. So I'm trying to go one a day rather than 3 a day because it's a lot of wasted water. Maybe if I just leave the water in the bathtub or something, or I don't know, boil some water, pour it in. But I really love the act of taking a bath. It's really meditative for me. I light a candle. I put salt in the bath. It's also when it's cold here in New York, it's really nice to take a warm bath. And so that's the primary way that I clean myself and calm my body and just let my muscles relax. And yes, that's a big self-care tool for me. Another one is I've been doing a lot of Pilates. So I used to work out really hard and I used to go to the gym and it was a bit of a gym rat and not anymore. Now I do 4 days a week of a half hour, 20 minutes of Pilates. And I feel good. It's working for me.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to teach Pilates. I've been an instructor, so I totally know the benefits. It's
very subtle. Yeah, it's very subtle, and you walk away and like, whoa, that hurt.
Yeah, like you work deeply. Yeah, totally. So you have such a hectic schedule, being, the amazing entrepreneur as you share this message. How do you take out time for yourself? Like, do you block it out in your calendar? Like, what works for you so you know how to fill your tank?
A big part of making sure that I'm taking time for myself is that there are spurts of my year where I'm out really big and then I go in really big. So to be really honest with you, I could go days not going beyond like the corner of my block, right? Like maybe I just go to get a cup of tea because I need to walk outside. My doormen are like, "Oh, we thought you were out of town." It's like, no, it's just upstairs. So I sometimes just hibernate, and that is really really important for me. As we mentioned earlier, I'm in my sweatpants. And so, being in my sweatpants and writing and spending time alone is really, really valuable for me. I also meditate every day, so that is extremely helpful, even if it's 20 minutes, just sitting in stillness. And something I'm going to try to take on, my coach has been guiding me to try to do. She does every other Friday where she does nothing. She doesn't do any work. She doesn't go on the internet. She doesn't check her phone. She just, makes a meal, goes for a walk, just doesn't have any objective. I'm going to try to do that for a few hours a week.
Yeah.
And then see what happens from there.
I think that's awesome.
I'm really going to try to just go for a walk and not know where I'm going. And sit and not know what I'm doing. And I also really like to watch documentaries. So I could get really hooked into like a series or a documentary or like a History Channel series. I like to learn through film. So.
So just a couple of more questions. I always admire your fashion and the way that you present yourself. So I'm just wondering if you have any tips about that, any things that you've learned or, your go-tos.
I think it's important to understand the value of fashion from a spiritual perspective. And I will probably write a blog about this soon. But when we dress to impress others, we are dressing with the ego, right? I mean, we want people to enjoy what we're wearing, but it's different. There's a different energy behind dressing to, ignite happiness in others versus trying to get people to think you're cool, right? So there's two perspectives here. Another thing also is like part of my consciousness around what I'm wearing, because truthfully, I really also am very comfortable just wearing a tank top and jeans and like a hot pair of shoes. That wearing fun things and being relevant is part of being like understanding the purpose of being a teacher for a demographic that may not come to this work unless it looks a certain way, and it's not just about how it looks by any means, but it's helpful. And so honoring that and acknowledging that and giving the audience sort of this other, identification, another way to identify with a conversation that otherwise might be a little mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it's fun because what I'm wearing allows me to talk about God in a really deep way.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. And, and I love that you're not afraid of that. It's a great expression of your creativity, and it's about it really enhancing the beauty that already is, and it can be such a fun process.
Yeah, I mean, I think we, if we're in these bodies at this time to be teachers and messengers, then we should enjoy the body and we should use the body as a valuable tool to extend love. And if one of the ways that you do that is through beautiful, adorning yourself with beautiful clothing or something that makes you feel good, mm-hmm. then your feeling good only greatly benefits others.
Perfect. So. Yeah, exactly. Do you are you interested in taking our I Commit pledge?
Yes.
Awesome. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get more women and men to be kinder to their bodies. So it's just basically saying, I'm Gabby Bernstein and I commit to being kinder to my body this year. And one way I plan to do that is.
Okay. Oh God, I'm so scared to say it. There's one thing I've been really transparent about not being willing to give up is my coffee addiction.
Yes, I'm familiar with that. I've seen you talk about it.
I've committed and then fallen off and committed and fallen off. So I've been publicly transparent about my coffee relapses. So I'm going to leave that one privately to myself. But the message is Gabby Bernstein, commit to be kinder to my body in the way that I will eat more, even more greens, even more greens. I ate a lot of greens, but even more.
Awesome.
Greens.
Yeah, I just am really trying to get a message across about it's okay to love this form. It's okay to have compassion for this form. So thank you for that. I support you in eating your greens and maybe even drinking them too.
I have been drinking them, and they disappear when I put them in that juicer. This much greens becomes like this much juice.
Exactly. Yeah, it's incredible, right?
Yeah.
So you have an event coming up on February 4th here in LA, and I'd love for you to share a little bit about it. I'm super excited.
Yes, I will be speaking with my dear friend and spiritual running buddy, Christine Arilo, and we're doing a talk called I Love Me. And this is a message that we have in our 40-day fear cleanse. There's a whole week that we did on self-love and romantic love and the relationship to others. And so we're going to be doing almost like a 3.5-hour workshop kind of talk and get everybody just looped in, taking the body heart photos, and really creating a container for people to go deep and go big in that self-love department. And so that's going to be on February 4th at Agape. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to that.
Perfect. Well, that is all. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you for all that you do.
Oh.